Okay, I have a life-changing question for you. How would you feel if you had a plan to take control of your money and get the lifestyle that you want? I'm Beth Kraszewski. I'm a certified financial planner. I've been a financial planner for 15 years, and I'm a wife and mother of 3. And I have asked and been asked this question so many times. I have personally experienced the stress of money and have seen the negative impacts that this stress can have for so many people. The great news is that I have cracked the code. I have combined my experience as a financial planner and my life experience as a mother to find the solution. This solution is a financial planning process for families called the Financial Kickstart. In the next 3 videos, I will be showing you exactly what you need to do so you can take back control of your money and find financial peace in your home. This means you will no longer dread opening the credit card bill. You will no longer be embarrassed when your friends talk about their college savings for their kids. And you will be in a position where you can enjoy your money conversations with your spouse. You will know that you are making the right decisions today so that you can have the lifestyle that you want. I've been able to help hundreds of families get financially happy and confident. I am so excited to share these 3 free videos with you because I know that money is the #1 cause of stress in Americans and the #1 cause of fights in marriage. There is so much power in these lessons that I'm going to share with you in these videos. And I want to share this with as many people as possible because I know this impacts so many people. And unfortunately, I just don't have enough time in the day to individually help everyone who needs this guidance. Okay, so before I dive into these solutions for you, I have a quick confession to make. I have experienced firsthand how crazy parenthood can be and how money can both cause and solve problems in lives. When I was a new mom, I was so completely overwhelmed with all the new responsibilities of having a family and especially the financial aspect. I was like 82% of Americans. I was stressed over money and the negative effects rippled throughout my life. I was constantly running the numbers in my head to see how I could relieve ourselves of financial stresses. I was concerned that one day we would wake up and find out we had completely run out of money and wouldn't be able to pay the bills. I was stressed because we had unpaid debts. We weren't saving enough. We didn't have an emergency fund, and we certainly hadn't started saving for college for our son. All of this obsession and worrying about our finances had a huge impact on me. And the craziest thing about all of this is that my husband and I, we both had good jobs, and anyone from the outside would have been absolutely shocked to hear how worried I was about money. And I was a financial planner. I was helping very wealthy people at that time grow and preserve their assets. But somehow I was unable to get our own financial situation under control. It was a few months after our son was born that I hit bottom. Our checking accounts hit 0. My biggest fear had come true. I remember looking at our account balances and feeling like I was just going to puke. For a brief moment, I thought we were going to lose it all. I was embarrassed. Not only had I failed as a financial planner, I was failing as a wife and a mother because I couldn't figure out how to get control of our money. Well, fortunately, my fear quickly turned to the need to take action to fix the situation. I knew that my husband and I had to get on the same page with our finances, and I knew that we both needed to take control and get a game plan in place. I had 2 options. The first was that I could accept what we were going through and that we were always going to be financially stressed and spend our lives always feeling financially behind. Or the second option is that I could use my financial planning education and my experience to figure out a solution. If someone would have given me this information earlier, I could have avoided worrying about money. I would have been confident that I could get the lifestyle that I wanted. But also, it took being a parent to really understand the emotions and stress that money has on relationships and family. Trust me, this is not taught in books or even by your parents. You need to live it to really understand the internal and external levers that are causing both the stress and the solution. So here I am 5 years later. I now have 3 kids and am financially happy. I have the lifestyle I want. I no longer worry about waking up and finding that we had completely run out of money and aren't able to pay the bills. I no longer stress about the amount of money we have saved or our financial future. I am confident that I have a game plan in place for money to have a positive role in my life. And I've helped hundreds of families do the same thing. Families who spent years thinking that they would never be free of financial stress, never get the life they want, because they didn't think it was possible. So many times, people don't want to deal with the stress of money because they don't think that they can find a better way. Well, I have found a better way, and I am so excited to share it with you. So here's the first step. The first question I always ask my clients when they come in the door is I say, what caused you to decide to meet with a financial planner and get some financial advice? I hear this over and over again that they don't know what they have. They think they have a few old 401k plans, but they aren't sure of the balance or the investments. They think they pay for life insurance policy every month, but they don't know what the death benefit is. They feel like they make really good money, but they don't know where it all goes. They say, Beth, the money just flies out the door. This is so concerning to them because they know they won't be able to reach their goals until they first get a grasp on their current financial situation. Okay, so here's where I'm going to start to show you everything that I learned about taking control of money. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can get a grasp on what you have, your current financial situation. This is a critical first step so that you can take control of your money and work towards the lifestyle that you want. There are 5 major areas of your financial picture. The first is cash flow. The second are assets. The third are your debts. The fourth is insurance. And the fifth is your financial documents. Okay, let's talk about cash flow first. This is the amount of money you have coming in, which is your income, and the amount of money you have going out, which is your saving and expenses. This is such an important step to get on the same page as a couple. And I realized this when I was in my dark financial days as a new parent. One day, my husband came home from Home Depot and we got into a huge fight about his purchases. I freaked out on him because he seemed to always be buying things from Home Depot. And I was convinced that he was going to send us to the poorhouse because of his spending at Home Depot. Well, when I finally sat down and started looking at our expenses, I realized that Home Depot accounted for less than 0.5% of our expenses, which meant his spending at Home Depot was not going to send us to the poorhouse. My husband loves going to Home Depot, so he can work on his projects around the house. This makes him a happier person, which in turn makes our whole family happier. It was amazing that just by looking at our expenses that I was able to stop freaking out when he went to Home Depot and that he could really enjoy his projects. So here's what I recommend. Take a little bit of time, figure out how much money you have coming in, where is your money going out, categorize these expenses, sort of put a budget in place. This will just give you so much insight to your financial situation. It will help you start to realize that the money just isn't flying out the door, that you can stop it before it flies out and make great decisions as a couple. While figuring out cash flow is a fundamental step towards financial progress, this is still something that I do even years later. I use a free app called Mint, and this helps me to know where our money is going. This app allows me to easily keep track of my spending, and this is great for 2 reasons. The first is, when my husband and I hit the point where we didn't have any money in the checking account, I knew we needed to cut out some of our expenses. By having a clear picture of where our money was going, we were easily able to cut out expenses we didn't even know that we had or we realized weren't worth the expense. The second reason it's great is that we have set up goals for our spending categories. This actually eases my stress because when I have a big grocery bill, I'm able to look at the amount I've allowed us to spend in the month on groceries. And seeing that I'm still within my goal makes me feel so much better. It doesn't make me think that we're headed to the poorhouse. I recommend that you take a look at the free money apps and find one that works for you to help you keep on track of your cash. The next area of your financial inventory is to get a handle on your assets. During this process, you should create a list of all of your assets, and this includes your 401k and other retirement accounts, savings accounts, your home, and so on and so on. There are a few big things to look at when you make this list of assets. One of the most common issues I see is that people will have so many old 401ks or way too many banking accounts. This can be really stressful. It is difficult to manage your retirement assets when they are all over the place. Another thing you may notice during this process is if you have enough money in an emergency fund. The third piece of the inventory is to write down all of your debts. I know you may not want to look at the credit card balances or the balance on your student loans. It seems so stressful to look at these. However, I have noticed with most people that they actually feel so relieved to take a better look at these statements because this is the first step to create a plan for you to pay them off. It is usually such a relieving exercise just to take this first step. The fourth piece of the inventory is to get an understanding of your insurance. I often ask clients, how much insurance do they have? And their initial reaction is almost always, well, I don't know. It is so important to know how much you have. I have seen situations where people didn't pay attention to their insurance and then one of the spouses died or became disabled and they were really in a horrible situation. And this was really so avoidable. The fifth and final piece of your financial inventory is about your financial documents. Your financial documents are your wills, your trusts, powers of attorney, deeds to your home, life insurance policies, etc. These are all documents that you should have. Once you have gone through these 5 areas, you should have a very good understanding of what you have. You should sit down as a couple and review your inventory so that you can be on the same page and work as a team to make sure that you know exactly what you have. This is a key step in order for you to go to the next level. Okay, so let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room before we move on. Many people are skeptical and don't think this can work for them. Many people have tried to make progress on their finances but have failed. They've spent hours thinking about money, researching money, but don't seem to be able to make progress. Most of our clients come in just like this, and there are 2 common reasons why they failed in the past. Number 1 is they never learned how to create a realistic plan for their money. And number 2 is they tried to do it alone without the support to keep them on track. Just like a cruise ship can't make rapid turns, neither can you. But with Financial Kickstart, we show you how to make gradual turns to keep your lifestyle but get real results. Remember the client that I told you about earlier? The one with their second child on the way? After trying for years to save for a new house and never making any progress, they started our Financial Kickstart process. And they have now been able to put thousands of dollars toward a down payment on a new house. And they're on schedule to buy a new house in just a few months. Now that is real progress. All of my clients have been able to make more financial changes than they ever thought they could. So now you know what you have. You've taken the first critical step so that you can take control of your money and work towards the lifestyle that you want. So I know what you're probably thinking. You know what you need to do to be saving more or paying off more debt. But this idea gives you the impression that you are going to have to suffer a ton to make this happen. This couldn't be more wrong. I'm a huge believer that you have to find balance with your money. So not only are you saving for tomorrow, but you're enjoying your money today. I tell people they need to learn how to be good savers, but also how to be good spenders. So hold on for the next video. I have found some key strategies so you can find the balance between spending and saving. This is so important for you and your spouse to get on the same page, because I know that so many spouses can have very conflicting views on how to utilize their money. Okay, you could help me make a better video for you in the next video in this training series. If you could just take a minute and write in the comments section below your top 1 or 2 fears or barriers to having a financially happy life. What are your biggest fears and barriers? Just getting it out of your head may help you move through it or make it a little bit less powerful. And you might even help someone else who reads your comment and feels less alone in their fear or barrier. I'll see you in a few days.